Hello everyone, I just thought I'd show you something here. I don't normally show you biscuit fire results because it's just biscuit ware. It's fairly boring, but these are the bottles that I made the other day, just to proof in the fact that the joining methods I use do work. They're all perfect, no cracks. There's one there. And there's the other one. It's quite a nice shape, that one. Bit to clean that. Okay. And the slip covered ones that I've carved, they've come out okay. So just looking forward to glazing these this week and get a firing done a week today, next Friday. And following this, I'm just going to show you a quick tip of what I discovered about these bottles and how to finish them a little bit easier. Okay. Well, here we are making a few more bottles. First tip. The first tip is yesterday these were very hard. I couldn't even cut them with a knife. The bottoms are soft, but the tops had got too hard. So what I did last night was I placed wet newspaper on the edge all the way around, covered it in a cloth that I sprinkled water on over the top of these two, and let's put this down so you don't get seasick. And then I covered it with a polythene bag, and this morning they're back to being soft again. Yesterday you couldn't even make a mark in it with this, it had gone too far. So I put the bases on, they were alright, and that seems to have worked okay overnight, so I can get on with them again now. Would have been a waste of time yesterday. Another tip is I've been using this metal blade to smooth off the edges, but it tends to tear it a little bit and put ridges in. So what I've decided to use was this wooden scraper, and this seems a lot more usable, a lot more efficient at smoothing the edges. So it's that piece of wood that I carved for carving the feet. It's slowly becoming my favourite tool now. Whereas if you try and use a metal scraper, it's a bit too harsh, it leaves edges on, whereas this is a bit more generous. And then obviously the sponge will finish off those edges nicely. Right, I'm just going to pop, whoops, a bit too soft. Just going to pop the tops on here, and I'll give you a quick look at them when they're finished. Okay. I'm just using this wooden tool now just to smooth off. I've managed to cross hatch it and fix it on. It always ends up in a little bit of excess. Like a bit of excess clay bulging out, so we just have to scrape that off. You can scrape away clay a little bit better with a wooden tool than with a metal one. Metal one tends to slice right into it and take big chunks out. So that's something I've learnt after I don't know how many years. Just figured out that a wooden tool is better than a metal one. get a nice sharp edge, what I do is use that paddle there, and then we use the corner of this piece. It gives you quite a nice sharp edge. We can tidy it with a sponge. Okay, I hope you can see this. I've got here some sieved slip out of my tray. I'll just put some iron oxide in it, and just a question of painting it on. The reason I'm doing this is because I usually mix my iron into my clay, but it's so long-winded and so labour intensive that I thought, well, I'll just make them out of the ordinary crank, sieve a little bit of the crank slip, put some iron oxide in, and then just paint it on the top. It seems to be working. It paints on quite simple, quite easily really. Covers over all of my bad workmanship. So this is having a slip, this slip putting on, and then it'll have two separate glazes. It's a little bit dark in there. That's good. Before I do this side here, what I'm going to do is put my stamp in it. And then when we paint over it, the stamp stays, you can see it, the stamp stays legible. Depending on how roughly this dries, I will might give it another coat. It is done. So here's the one that's just done. There's a couple from the other day, they're almost dry. That's from yesterday. And what I've got here is a square one. And be interested to see what the square one looks like. I quite like the long ones, but still playing around with the idea of different shapes. Well, I'm just having a bit of fun here with this drawing on this slip. I'm going to have a go at doing some bamboo. Bit of bamboo. A bit on there, a bit more on there. Oh, next time. Bit of fun. There's my Rolf Harris bit. Gonna see what it is yet. That's the square one finished. Leave it there to dry a little bit, if we can do in this horrible rain again. And we'll put another coat on and then that'll be it, ready to go to dry.